Big shout out to Konstantin Budzan for subscribing to this YouTube channel the moment I press the record button. But, future Geo coming in here. The following audio, the following video was recorded last night. The sentiment remains the same, but there's some new information. John Shannon tweeted this out in the midst of the McDavid Palooza conversation we were having. But in Vancouver, he's told that Braeden Cootes will be in the opening lineup against Calgary Thursday. Braeden Cootes has made the team! Hell yeah! And we were all wrong about this guy. With that in mind, let's shift our gears, go back over to the video I recorded last night because I think it's a pretty good one. Vancouver, we're in for a good treat here, folks. Hey, so I'm starting to think that maybe a lot of us Vancouver Canucks fans were wrong. And hell, maybe everybody was wrong. Everybody in the NHL Entry Draft who scouted players, who took a look at who was where, who spoke out about where guys should be ranked and which guys should probably be good enough to play. Maybe everybody was wrong. Because my golly gee, is Braeden Cootes an absolute stud. And I'm recording this audio on the night of Sunday. It's October 5th. I'm going to have this video up on YouTube public by the time lunch rolls around on Monday. So if the Vancouver Canucks make the gut-wrenching, heartbreaking, and admittedly understandable decision of sending Braeden Cootes down to the WHL tomorrow, then please don't come at me. But at the time of recording this audio, Braeden Cootes is still with the Vancouver Canucks. And from the way he has played in the preseason and how he's progressed from training camp up until the actual preseason games and to now, feels like this guy's made the team. Feels like it. We're not going to be fully confirming that until the actual lineup is set for Game 1 for the Vancouver Canucks, but for now, it looks like he's in good hands. And I wanted to refer to some prior comments that we made about this guy when he was drafted in the 2025 draft, what fans were saying during training camp at the beginning of September, and just the entire story of how things got to this point. Let's start things out by reading this Reddit thread from 2 weeks ago. This was posted by Vex Destroyer 06, 13 days ago, talking about how Peter Nedved was the last player to make his debut for the Canucks at 18 years old in 1990. Could Braeden Cootes be the next? Although too early to tell, the hype has been surrounding Cootes the last couple of weeks, as he is very much impressed at both Canucks training camp and the preseason. After 35 years, could he be the next rookie to play the season after his draft year? What do you think? And a side note, both Cootes and Nedved were draftees of the Seattle Thunderbirds. The top comment from Displaced Nova Scotia says, "I'd be gobsmacked if Cootes makes his debut this season." Nedved was a second overall pick who had 145 points in the dub in his draft year. Cootes, while I'm optimistic about him, was a 15th overall pick. They usually need more time. Look at this comment. It's so draft pickist, if that's even a term. Degrading Braeden Cootes because he was 15th overall and Nedved was 2nd overall. Now obviously I'm being sarcastic here. Nedved was ranked 2nd overall because he was just a beast, and he was so good in his draft-eligible campaign. Everybody thought he was ready. Braeden Cootes, unfortunately, he didn't have the same love. He was not ranked nearly in the same territory that Nedved was. In fact, Braeden Cootes was ranked by some to go a lot later than where he inevitably went to Vancouver at number 15. Craig Button had Cootes at 22. NHL Central Scouting had him as the 20th North American ranked skater. Dauber had him at 21, so did Future Considerations. Bob McKenzie was a little higher on Cootes, they had him at 18. But ultimately, this was not a guy who was supposed to go anywhere in the NHL-ready territory of the draft. Normally, you'll see the number 1 overall pick make the league right away. Sometimes you'll get number 1 and number 2, as was the case with Eichel and McDavid and Laine and Matthews, Nolan Patrick and Nico Hischier. But Braeden Cootes is a different animal here. 15th overall. And folks were saying 2 weeks ago they would be surprised if he made his debut this season. Oh, unless he has a Ryan O'Reilly type of camp. He was a second-round draft pick and made the Avalanche. Obviously different players and highly unlikely, but our forward depth isn't stacked. And if it was any year to crack the top 12, it may be this year. The 3 second-round picks I distinctly remember making the team at 18 were O'Reilly, Bergeron, and Daniel Sprong. Yeah, that was a very, very strange time for the Pittsburgh Penguins. You might think, oh, they were bad, right? No, they won the Cup twice in a row the years after Daniel Sprong was drafted and played in the NHL. It was so weird. But going back over to Braeden Cootes, things have gotten super interesting because now we are starting to see the narrative pop up. If he does make the roster, it will mean he is the first 18-year-old in franchise history to do it in the 21st century. The first one since Peter Nedved in 1990-1991. And the reason why I can feel comfortable making this video the night before and talking about Cootes as if he's quote-unquote made the team is because practice earlier today on Sunday kind of opened the door for him to be able to do that. Teddy Bluger was a little dinged up. That was the assessment assistant coach Scott Young gave for the veteran center missing Sunday's Canucks practice at UBC. You also had yourselves the regular lines, where Braeden Cootes was skating with Evander Kane and Jonathan Lekkerimäki. This guy has no reason to be with the most lethal Vancouver Canucks goal scorer of the preseason and a seasoned vet in Evander Kane if the Canucks don't have a plan to actually use him in the NHL. They would have given this spot to Linus Karlsson. They would have said, hey, Cootes, you're the extra. But no, that's not what they're doing here. They're putting this guy in positions to succeed. You also had yourselves what Braeden Cootes said about his mindset heading into the next little while here. He's not sure about playing the opener yet, and he is trying to take things day by day. He says he's trying not to worry about the roster decisions looming, and he's trying to control what he can control. That is very, very nice. I love the way Cootes is able to talk about that, man. He's only 18. He's 18 years old and speaking very maturely about stuff he can control versus stuff he can't. This guy's had some sports psychology media training, and it's paid off. Very, very nice there, Braeden Cootes. Now, speaking about what the Vancouver Canucks could do, the Canucks didn't place anybody on waivers yesterday, but they did place Tom Willander and Victor Mancini down there in Abbotsford. So this is what Canucks news summaries went out there and said after the non-waiver situation. The most likely scenario is that Forbort or Pierre-Olivier Joseph will start the season on IR. The Canucks would only need to send one player down tomorrow, with Willander being the most likely candidate. Now, as we know, Willander did get sent down, as did Mancini. So for Braeden Cootes, he's still got a dying chance to be on this team and actually skate in the opening game of the season. Keep in mind, this guy was one of the most productive players for Vancouver in the preseason period. Quinn Hughes led the team in points with 6 points in 3 games. If Quinn Hughes is able to produce at a double point per game rate in the regular season, then color me shocked. The guy's going to get 164 points this year. But Jonathan Lekkerimäki was a point per game in the preseason, as was Cootes. Lekkerimäki had 3 goals in 4 games. That was the most out of any Vancouver Canuck. So already you are seeing that some of the most expected guys are doing what they should be doing. It's kind of funny that the Canucks were led by 2 defensemen, and the Elias Pettersson that we all wanted to see bounce back only scored a goal and an assist in 3 games. Okay, that's not really a big deal, right? But with all this in mind, I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, folks. We were so wrong about Braeden Cootes. Not that we didn't think that he would actually be effective and useful and good and a quality player, but nobody expected it to be this soon. And now it looks like he could be making the team. Again, if he gets sent down before this video is public on YouTube, then I'm the ultimate fool. In fact, you could say I'm already that, even if he stays with the team. But for now, Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about how he's deferred from our expectations. He has taken the high road, and he's looking so much better than everybody thought he would be able to look at this point. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to hit the like button. If you didn't, the dislike button's down there for you as well. Comments help out with the algorithm, so I'd really appreciate it if you got involved in the conversation. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.